Hello friends, it is Rage Panda 1, back again with another Bloodline Heroes of Lithas video, and you can see we are on a new day, a new fresh reset, all of the red dots to clear off of our board. That's very exciting. Not at all tedious ever. And we got an invitation to a banquet. What a great opportunity to talk about banquets. Banquets are a thing that you should be doing all the time. So we're going to happily join this guy's banquet. We're going to do our free lucky spin. And we get some books. Can't hate that. Pretty much everything on there is useful. I wouldn't spend diamonds on it personally, but the free ones are great. And then we got our little matching game here. Let's see how we do. Could be good, could be bad. Especially if I'm trying to talk, I'll probably forget where everything is. Yeah, we're getting there. Oh, see, 8 mistakes were already made. I can't believe I've done this. I have little names that I try to remember. This one's Maleficent. This one is green. Bastet, because of a skin on Smite. And purple. Alright, so we're not number 1, but we're not terrible. And we're going to go ahead and go to the banquet hall. Right here. We're going to make sure we start our banquet. Is our banquet still going? Lovely. Better score on that one. And we are going to join yet another one of these various Geralts. Is this the one I was just in? Crazy how that happens. Alright. And we're going to do our mini game again. I won't make you suffer through that. We got our mini game done, and now we get to reap some rewards for the banquets. So for both of these, we get a little green box just for joining in. And we get some arena awards. And so if we go to our bag here, I actually have quite a few of these boxes. We're just going to go ahead and open all of them. Plenty of books. Plenty of materials for our heirs. And even more. So I highly recommend doing those as often as you can. And while we're on this screen, let's talk about these little companion squares here, these little tokens that we've got. So for most of these, you need 30 or 48 or something like that to unlock yourself a new companion. However, if we already have the companion, like we do, I believe, for this young lady, Talia, we can use this to add ourselves some intimacy, essentially, for free. And we just find these through explorations, things we're doing anyway. So that's great. Don't forget to use those. If you don't have the companion and you try to use it, it just does nothing. And similarly, at the top of these companions that we don't have, up in this area, you can see it says 6 out of 48. That's just telling us how many of those tokens that we currently have, and that we need 48 to get her. So that's something to keep an eye on. It's going to take a while to actually finish them, unless you've got some of these 1 stars here, like the Sally Horns, I believe. 18, not too shabby. I'll be looking to get one of those just so I can pump out some units to level up some tanks. Always a good thing. Now, I am going to be putting all of my intimacy stuff into this lady still until she hits Mythic. Though a mistake that I made on my main account is I started leveling the Ignis companion right away, thinking Ignis is good, I want that high level, but the reason that it's not good is because it is the same district type as this companion. They both do the market districts, and I think now that it's better to target different districts because that will make it easier to get your leadership traits on everybody. Just everybody, everywhere. You want to have both mythic level traits. Uh, yeah, in every slot. Speaking of our districts, we come over here. I've already collected some today. You can see that we are getting quite upgraded. We have over 4,000 gold a minute coming in. And we're very early in the game still because I've been doing a lot of talking. And yeah, I think we're doing pretty well with that. You can see we've got a couple of people assigned, and you can definitely tell which ones have the levels. We're not going to worry about getting those too crazy until we're swimming in epics. But for now, I'm going to try to get my diamonds up so that we can do another multi-summon. Hopefully, we'll see our first mythic on the account. As I'm going through clearing off my red dots, it is always good to be giving your thumbs ups. Hey, while you're at it, put some on the video, right? You want to do these just to get your free diamonds, and it might be good to just go over where we're actually at, and we can keep updating that as we go. So we're 617 in terms of total might so far, 669 in the campaign, 604 for intimacy, and 604 for districts. So you can see that we are higher relatively in intimacy and districts, and it is probably going to stay that way because that's just that's how I roll. I think that focusing on those things are really good, and if we ever make it to the top, it'll be because of that we make it there. So we're going to try to pump out a bunch of campaign. You know, I don't remember everything that shows up in the campaign and all the unlocks that I get, so when those things do happen, I will, I'll holler at you. We're going to grab our Senate issues real quick. Of course, I'm going all bread to get my markets, my districts really cruising. You can see we got some action in the guild here, and luckily we get these orders that we can check in on. And these are wonderful little buffs. Defense, attack, health, all 30% increases. And that is super helpful. We even got ourselves a little rare chest here. And speaking of those chests, let's take a look in our bag again. You can see that I have 17 of these blue golden chest icons and one of the purples. And I'm saving them. I'm not going to use them. Maybe if I'm like really struggling and I just can't win, then I'll use some of them. But when I use some of them, I'm going to make sure that my districts are fully optimized so that I'm getting as much as I possibly can out of my districts. And I'm going to make sure that the guild order for my districts is active. And then that'll make sure that I get the most I possibly can out of those. And using them as late as possible means that I will have leveled up my districts as much as possible before spending. And I think that is the play. You got to maximize your resources, especially on a free-to-play account. Another small tip that I've learned through trial and error. This is still the first, the other option of the tutorial prisoner. This is the one we did not choose. And it turns out for her, every answer is just intimidate if you want to get the plus 30. Some people try not to get the plus 30 just to keep her in there longer. So if they come up with a quest where you need to interrogate, they got somebody to interrogate. I want to get her out of here. You don't get any diamonds for her. And I don't want that taking up my space. Plus, sometimes I'm a little lazy with the prisoners, even though I shouldn't be. Alright, we got some more expeditions available. These are my favorite. Free resources. And you can see I'm just putting whatever fits in there. It doesn't matter. Before we set out on our adventure for finally clearing Chapter 3, I've said I'm going to do it 1,000 times, we're going to review. We got some extra gold here. We're going to make a couple of changes. So, I do love this chick. I think she's awesome, and also, we're going to stop using her for a little bit.
Send me to the fight.
The reason is because we've got a strong CC team. We get stun from female Ignis, and we get a nice pull from this guy, and then yeah, we get a nice pull from him, and we get a stun from him, and it's he's just overall very CC or control heavy, and we're gonna lean into that a little more by putting in this guy, you know, just for fun. He's gonna be fairly tanky, at least in terms of an assassin guy, and his fear is just a really great crowd control. And overall, we've got a bunch of tanky characters. We've got heal over time. We've got a shield that we want to get up as often as possible. And with all of this crowd control and all of that sustain, I think it doesn't matter if our damage is as high as it could possibly ever be. I think that we are just, you know, kind of going for a slightly different thing. And this guy fits in really well with that. He adds in a whole different kind of CC. And you know what? He's cool. And I like him. So I'm going to go ahead and use him. So first, we're going to see where we can get him leveled up to. I need to remember where my other guys are leveled up to. I have my carry guy obviously leveled up to 81. We're going to be getting this guy at least to 60. And then we're going to match these guys up. Sorry if that leveling up noise is annoying, but you know, sometimes we just gotta deal with that. So yeah, we're gonna get our DPS going hard here. I think we're actually gonna go straight to 75 with our other two. Nice. And then we can get at least 5 more levels on these guys. Oh, almost 5.
Next to myself, of course.
Probably should have went 4. But that's fine. That's a good spread. You know, it doesn't have to be perfect. And of course, we're not going to forget to throw on our equipment. And we're going to do our skill level ups. We really like his main attack. He can absolutely assassinate somebody with his active, so we'll get that. And attack speed's kind of not awesome right now. I think it's broken. I don't even think it works right. So we're not going to worry too much about that. We'll make sure that these skills are all ranked up as they should be. Same with her.
A powerful ally and a deadly enemy.
I don't want to talk about how I was not doing that. Mistakes were made. It's fine. I probably ran out of books. Could always check the tape on it, but you know what? I just can't be bothered. So.
We will win this day.
And that's fine. He doesn't really need his other things too much. We'll save the books.
I will make them fear the skies.
And I suppose this guy can have his. And maybe we should start upgrading equipment, right? We're starting to get some blues. Although I will say you don't have to worry about maybe you're getting a blue soon, so you don't want to upgrade, because you get all of your XP back when you put that piece of gear into something higher level. You get it all anyway. There's no loss. So upgrade away. You know, have a great time with it. And yeah, let's go ahead and do some of that now. Since I'm starting to get blues, and I don't think I'm really going to care too much about these greens. If I need greens, you know, or if I need any gear, I'm going to go do Senate orders to make sure that I have what I need. I'm not going to wait around for some greens to show up.
I will make them
So we're going to
fear
make
the
sure all of our
skies.
DPS have level 4 weapons, because that's huge. I did a couple of my daily free arenas real quick to complete a side quest, and upgraded all of our weapons to level 4, and we've got our expeditions ready. Now this one we're obviously going diamonds. Easy choice. Never choose anything else when there's diamonds available. And we're going to grab more books. And more books. So, we are currently on 321. And I'm going to go over my new lineup, the way that we're going to do it. You may recall that our little Time Lord over here is quite a tanky boy, so we don't mind putting him up to be a tank, because he has an extreme amount of constitution. We're going to throw our Lycanus in the middle, and the only changes that we're really ever going to bother with are switching sides on our Lionstone and our Time Lord, or our 2 DPS in the back. Otherwise, it's going to stay relatively the same. And so let's go ahead and take a look at how one of these plays out. We're going to get a Fear Bomb off, and that's going to... The thing that's really nice here is that our Tidesworn is pulling a dude in from the back, and then our Lycanus is fearing just almost everybody, with the exception of one character. And that's probably going to be the case almost every time. And so I might switch my Tidesworn based on where who I want to pull in. But usually I'm just going to be hitting challenge and going for it, and it's going to work just fine for us. Most of their team just stays stunned the whole time. These aren't really great examples because we're almost double their power. But I'm going to keep going through and just until I run into a wall. Okay, I just gotta say, this Lycanus guy is so good. I know it's early game and it doesn't really matter all that much, but having 4 of their team getting fear bombed every time, just not able to do anything, and then having a bunch of stuns come after it, it's so strong. It just feels good, man. It's fun. I recommend. I don't know. I haven't tested anything with actual dangerous content, but if it holds up in dangerous content, then that's going to be fun, you know? It's going to be fun. So test it out if you got one and let me know how it goes. Wow! The Hall of Fame is now available. So that's pretty fun and exciting, because that means more free diamonds. So we're going to come into one of these gatehouses. Look at Geralt looking all cool back there. And we check in. And then we try to accept as many quests as we can. So you'll see that this one says 27 of 50. That means that there's still room for me to be able to accept it. Then it goes to 28. However, on the Gatehouse here, it is 20 of 20, which means I cannot get that quest. So you got to get in while the getting is good, and we did not do that. We got exactly 2 of the 8 available quests, which isn't great, but it's better than nothing. And while we're here, let's go ahead and get some fat loots, as they say. Oh, we like this. This right here, my companion of choice.
I've got some plans.
We got a couple of extras there. You can see that we are 225 away from getting epics already that we can just manufacture, which is going to be wonderful. Although we're not going to do too much marrying of those traits, because your rings, your little wedding rings, you can see I only have 3 of them now. They don't come in as much as you want them to come in. So we're going to click on her, use that right away. Don't want to forget about it, which I tend to do if I don't use it right away. And look at this, 599 on the leaderboard already. We're climbing. We are climbing up in here. One of the banquets that we had, probably my own, we won a special banquet pack for doing well in the minigame. But first, we're going to level this up to 5. And if you're in the know, then you know that means we get to chuck another champion in there, which is fantastic. We do enjoy that. And while we're at it, since we've made some changes to our roster, we're going to make sure that we still have all of the best people assigned in the rest of them, which we do. And we're going to take a look at our bag. And this, I think it's the blue one, is our level 3 banquet rewards. Let's see what we get. Nice. Anything for intimacy makes me a happy guy. And I think you all know exactly where that's going. Less than 200. We cannot wait for that. Speaking of heirs, let's have a little check-in on everybody. Don't have any free slots to really make anything new. And you can see we only need 130 more diamonds to get another multi-summon. And let me tell you, we are gonna make a mythic happen. I believe. While I'm clicking through things, I will show you still $0 spent. I'm sure that's not a surprise, because that's the way it's gonna stay. That is the way it's gonna stay. We have completed Chapter 3, and it was all too easy. I just kept attacking and just kept winning. Before we start Chapter 4, though, we have enough diamonds for another summon. And we are fairly excited about that. I am going to capture that guy first, because this is where we get a mythic. I feel it. We are not going to go for the Lume champions, because we are not going to probably get enough diamonds in time to make it to the 50 summons to get any bonuses. We already have a good one of the Lume male, which is the one we wanted. So we're just going to go do one of these. All right. Please let it be good. Come on, baby. Who could it be now?
Fire is a powerful ally and a deadly enemy.
Well,
Mind it well.
I mean, she's very useful for us right now. Having Noble on one of the people that you're leveling up anyway in an early game account is pretty huge, actually, and I will be happy to keep that on. But man, our summons are not really doing what we want. And that is rough. That is not ideal. Well, we got an upgrade to one of the people that we use. It's a very small upgrade. Oh, we are feeling a little bad right now. I'm not gonna lie. Being 3 multis in and having essentially nothing to show for it. We have 1 usable legendary. We have 1 not at all usable legendary. And then we have no other legendaries. We have no mythics. We have 2 decent purples, I guess. We can't complain about that. But just damn. So I'm gonna get these guys set up, and I think this is going to be the end of this video. And the next video, we are gonna start working on getting our 4-star champions. We have enough fodder now that we can earn ourselves a little way up the tree and start working on that. Get some nice rewards, maybe some summons that'll treat us well. Could happen, you never know. Yeah. At least this is a good example of, succeeding with terrible luck. And we are up to 553 on the leaderboard, 577, and then 570 and 552. So we're making some good progress here. I will see you in the next one.